co-creator of extraordinary outcomes. I'm an ordinary person with extraordinary aspirations who believes in living life fully alive. Welcome to Monday Morning Magic. Good morning, CEOs. Good morning, CEOs, co-creators of extraordinary outcomes. Welcome to Monday Morning Magic. It seems like there was a little bit of a glitch in my intro. I apologize for that. I'm not really sure what that was about, but I am here, 7:30 on the nose. We have a great topic for you today. Let me give you my intro. My name is Coach B, the co-creator of Extraordinary Outcomes. I'm an ordinary person with extraordinary aspirations who believes in living life fully alive. As I said earlier, we have a wonderful topic for you today for discussion: service or servitude. Let me say that one more time: service or servitude. When you see me looking back and forth, that is because I am operating different nuances of this broadcast. I was talking to my aunt a couple of weeks ago. She was like, cousin so and so, you have such an awesome broadcast. And I was like, wow, I didn't think about it that way, that this is a broadcast. And so I wanted to put that language out there that this is a broadcast. Some people like to say it's a podcast, what have you. Both are correct. We are speaking to a multitude of people over multitude of streams or venues, if you want to say. I know people who are on Instagram, StreamYard, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everything simultaneously. And when you think about a broadcast, it's about getting your message out to the widest audience possible. So I will consider this a broadcast. Let me just hide my welcome comment. Just wanted to say welcome to the CEOs. And again, today's topic for discussion is service or servitude. But before we get into the topic, let me do some housekeeping. Okay, I didn't put it in the slide this time. Okay, so let me just tell you what the housekeeping is. The housekeeping is: one, check in. How you doing? How is your weekend? How was your weekend? Not how is your weekend because it's over, but how was your weekend? I know for some people, they went to the movies to go see Michael Jordan and Creed 3. Some people stayed home and watched the Netflix, Chris Rock Live. I don't care what you did. I hope you enjoyed yourself and that your weekend was uneventful. I had a great weekend. I got an opportunity to watch the Chris Rock Live. I'm a fan of comedy in general. And I also got a chance to go with a friend to go see a play, which was really, really awesome. Um, and the outing was good, right? The weather was super duper nice here in New York City. The weather was nice in the afternoon. Then it got a little cool in the afternoon, but that's okay. But that was my weekend. Again, I hope your weekend was well. Number two, right? For the housekeeping stuff, if you want to find me on YouTube, you can find me here. Let me put this back up. You can find me at Coach B, the CEO. If you put in Coach B, put the little dash there, the CEO, my channel will come up. And again, guys, I want to be transparent with you. I am definitely looking for people to subscribe, like, share, or leave a comment. We are definitely trying to grow our presence on YouTube. All subscriptions matter. We would like to get up to 100 subscribers within the next 60 days. Right now, I think we're at 62, 63. So if you can help me with that and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. If you are a past subscriber, come on and watch the channel, because what I'm noticing in the analytics, I have new watchers and some new subscribers, but some of the older subscribers are not watching. So we want to make sure that we're hitting it on all three levels. What do I mean? That we have new watchers, new subscribers, and that the old subscribers are continuing to watch the content. Again, you can catch me live, like right now on Facebook, and then you can catch me live on uh, Coach B, the CEO, and the CEO stands for co-creator of extraordinary outcomes. And the other thing, we are definitely using StreamYard because it would be impossible to try to stream on all of these platforms without a unified place to go wide and broad. So StreamYard allows us to go simulcast, right? On Facebook, you're watching this, or you may be watching this on YouTube. So StreamYard allows us to do multiple platforms at one time. I was having a discussion with another person and my support, and it was like, well, why do you have that 1 minute timer coming in? Well, the 1 minute timer is to allow all the platforms to sync. So then when I actually come on, when you actually see my face, when you actually see the slides, everyone that we are streaming to at one time gets the same information at the same time. So that is the purpose of the countdown clock. And it also allows me a second or two to get situated. I don't know about you. If you ever spoke before in front of a live audience with people standing in front of you, or this type of live, you need a moment to gather yourself, right? Because, hey, listen, I'm not perfect, but I want to do well. I want to give you some good information. And sometimes I got to do my woosah before I come on, before I just jump right in it. So, that's part of the prep work as well. So let's get back to what is the title of today's topic, right? Service or servitude. As you know, I like to get into what words mean because I don't want to give you my stuff, but I am going to share my experiential knowledge with you. And when I say I'm sharing my experiential knowledge with you, that is both my expertise in the work field, my lived experience in my personal life, and my education. I don't want to miss out on those three, right? So I'm not a one-dimensional person. I have information from my career path. I have information from my lived experience, and I also have experiential knowledge from my career. So I want to give you the best of all of those worlds. And one thing I learned as a student was look up some words. So service, the action of helping or doing work for someone, contribute to the wellness of others. I love this definition. Contributing, and I'm putting contributing, it says contributing to the wellness of others. In my line of work, that's the big picture. That is absolutely the big picture. One of the reasons why I went to school, one of the reasons why I do the work that I do is because I want to contribute to the wellness of others. I want to be of service. I want to help. I want to assist people in being their best self. And there's a saying in certain communities, you can't keep it unless you give it away. You can't keep it unless you give it away. I don't know about you. When I have something good that comes into my life and it changes or transforms me in a way that wasn't possible prior, I want to give that away. I want to be like, this is the best thing on the block. I want to give it away. I want people to know about it because I want them to have the same benefits or similar benefits that I had from this particular thing. I think in the Muslim sector, they say Want for your brother what you want for yourself. Same difference, right? If I'm being of service and I'm contributing to somebody's wellness, somebody's well-being, that's powerful. That is so, so powerful. Imagine the work that we do, the friendships that we have, how we present in our families, if we're being of service to one another, because we want the well being, the best, right? The wellness of others, their well being to be number one. So I'm not talking about service at the expense of losing yourself. That's not what I'm talking about. We're going to get into servitude in a minute. There's a big difference between being of service and servitude. When I'm being of service, I'm coming from a place of overflow. I'm coming from a place of joy. I'm coming from a place of peace. I'm coming from a place of empathy. I'm coming from a place of contribution that I can contribute. I can contribute to, right? I have something to offer someone. And as I said, I'm not coming from a place of scarcity. I'm not coming from a place of, I did for you, you got to do for me. I'm not coming from that place. I'm coming because I believe I have something of value that can help you, right? Have something other or better than what's present at the time. And I'll tell you, I love when people are being of service to me. There's nothing like somebody caring enough, having enough empathy and compassion to say, I see you, I feel you. How can I be of help to get you from one phase into another and not look for anything back in return? For somebody to say, hey, Coach B, listen, I know you give so much. What can I give you? What do you need? And to actually ask me that question, what do I need? Sometimes I know, sometimes I don't know. Let me be transparent there. Sometimes I know exactly what I need. And sometimes got to think about that because it's so infrequent that we ask other people what they need. We assume that we know what they need based on our need, based on what we want, based on how we interpret things, right? So sometimes it's really good to have a conversation with people and say, hey, what do you need? And then see if you can provide that. But it's nothing like being asked that question. I can guarantee you that, right? Coach B, what do you need? What do you need? How can I be of help? So many times we take for granted that people don't need help, right? Being of service. What is help? What is help? And I like the other part, right? Doing work. I can tell you right now, for me, acts of service, quality time, that is my love language, right? Acts of service and quality time is definitely my love language. If you ask me, hey, Coach B, what can I do for you today? That just opens up my heart and opens up my spirit. Why? Because it says that you see me and you hear me, that I'm present, right? But that's just for me. But you can leave it in the comments, right? You can leave it in the comments, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook. You can leave it in the comments, right? You know, what's that thing that really gets to your heart and spirit, right? Like when you are being of service to someone, what opens up for you? And when people are being of service to you, what opens up for you? And I just remembered, right, the other thing that that's in the description is if you want to come up and have your comments seen while we do the live stream, give StreamYard permission. It's in the description. There's a link in the description. Hit the link and give, if you're on Facebook, and give StreamYard permission, right, to access your Facebook account while we are live, right? So that if you leave a comment, I can see it and post it. Last week, Albert Aponte was up, and I saw his comment, and I hit the wrong button, so I wasn't able to pull it up on screen, but I know how to do it better now. Let me show you. So if you leave a comment, what will happen, it'll show up in my feed, and then I can show it, and I'll know who's out there, right? Whether it's Facebook or YouTube. So I want to make sure that I put that out there. And then again, here we are on Facebook. This is, if you're out on Facebook, this is how it would show up for us, and we'll see it, and I'll be able to read it, and we can have some full engagement. So I just wanted to make sure that I put that out there. And let me just hide this. I just wanted to put that in there. Again, if you're on Facebook and you're catching this and you want to be a part of and engage and interact, hit that StreamYard link to Facebook, and it'll give you access. If you are on YouTube and you locate my channel, Coach B dash the CEO, and you leave a comment on YouTube, we'll be able to see your comment as well and post it up front. But again, let's get back to this. Let's talk about servitude for a second, right? So servitude is a condition in which one lacks liberty. If you don't have no liberty, you don't have no freedom, right? Especially to determine one's course of action or way of life. Whew. That is so different from service. Service is something I want to do. I want to be a contributor to somebody's wellness. I want to help somebody do something. And I'm doing it freely. But this here servitude says a condition in which one lacks liberty, especially to determine one's course of action or way of life. And I can tell you that so many people, before we get into that second definition, let me just hammer out this first one, right? Let me just unpack it. So many people have been in a position or in a condition of servitude, and they have confused it with service. Because a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times when people want you to do something, they don't really ask, well, what do you need? How does this work for you as well? They're not asking for you to be of service. They're asking for you to be of servitude. Do this. And this is what I want out of it. And what happens is they take away the course of action or a way of life or the choice from actually showing up. Let me repeat that. A lot of times people confuse servitude with service. If I'm being of service, if you ask me to do work, because remember, part of the definition of service was doing work. If you're asking me to do work, I can do work, I can help, I can assist, I can contribute. But once you take away my choice for me to have the ability to act on my own or in my way of life, then you're really asking me to be of servitude towards you. Not of service, but of servitude. But why is this so important? Because this shows up in family dynamics. This shows up in the workforce. This shows up in friendships as well. Like, what is service and what is servitude? And sometimes we take for granted what we're really asking of people. We take it for granted. We think that we're asking them to be of service. But if I don't have a say so, and I can't negotiate, and I can't look out for my well-being in this particular scenario, then you're not asking me to be of service. You're really telling me to do something for you without checking in with me. And if you're not checking in with me, and I'm using me as an example, if you can relate, you'll let me know in the comments, or you'll like, or you'll share, whatever, right? But if you can relate, let me know, right? That when somebody asks you to do something and they're constantly asking you to do, and there is no time or accountability of, well, what do you need from this interaction, from us being together, right? Do you need something too? Like, for instance, somebody who has an automobile, and you have friends or family that knows that you have a car, and they're always asking, hey, can you pick me up this? Can you pick me up that? This and that and the other. But they never offer to buy gas or put gas in the car. They're asking for servitude, not service. Let me give you that example again. I got a car, and you say, hey, Coach B, can you come and pick me up? I'm a little, a little out of sync right now. I need you to come and pick me up. No problem. I can come. I can contribute. I can help. I can do the work. I can show up. I can pick you up. So you do it 9 or 10 other times, but no time do you say, hey, I don't have much. Would you like a couple of dollars? I get the choice to say yes or no, but you made the offer. If you never make the offer, then you want servitude. You want somebody to do something, right, in which they are doing what? A condition in which one lacks liberty, freedom, especially determining one's course of action or way of life. And you might say, Coach B, that's a little contradictory. You always have the right to say no. Yeah, I do. I always have the right to say no. And guess what? I know how to exercise no as well. But we're talking about reciprocity too. We're talking about being in relationships with people in general, right? And we don't want relationships to be what? One-sided, whether it's work, family, or friends. I want to be of service to my family and my career and at work. But once it takes away my freedom, my liberty to determine a course of action for myself, then I know I'm not being of service. So in the car example, right, that I gave you, eventually what would happen would be, listen, we need to talk. I don't mind picking you up sometimes, but there needs to be a little bit of give and take here. There needs to be a little bit of give and take. Because other than that, I am becoming, right? I'm acting in a way of servitude, right? And the other statement, and we hear this all the time, right? The state of being a slave or complete subject to someone more powerful. And someone being more powerful is subjective, because someone more powerful could be a person in authority, somebody that you think is authority, somebody that you place a lot of value on. Whether it's a stance of a mental thing, meaning that you perceive that person as being powerful, or the person actually has power, and I'm putting that in quotes, right? Because they have a title or a position. Imagine that, right? The state of being a slave, complete subject to someone more powerful. And this is where a lot of times, even in relationships, in romantic relationships, people will say, man, I do for you, I do for you, I do for you, I do for you. And you don't do anything in return. It could be at the job. You're constantly being asked to do something, right? And you don't mind being a team player, but it's now going beyond the scope of work. Or it could be, again, in friendships. You're constantly giving, and you're noticing that the reciprocity is not there. Now, mind you, everybody doesn't give the same way. Maybe you don't have a car, so you can't give me that. Maybe you got a good listening ear. That's good. That's good. But we need to understand, anytime we lose our choice and our ability to think about our way of life, or we're subjected to somebody more powerful. And notice what I said. It can be entitled, or this thing about people being powerful can be perceived power. Perceived power, right? Oh, they got this, they got that, they got this, and they got that. That perceived power. And once we give our power away, once we give our choice away, we're not being of service anymore. We're actually acting in a state of servitude. Again, service is free, it's joyful, it's peaceful, it's doesn't come from a place of scarcity, it's abundant. It's abundant. Servitude is draining. Servitude creates a lack in the spirit, because it's one way. It's all going out and nothing is coming in. It's all going out and nothing coming in. So service, the questions would be, how will being of service impact your life? Not servitude. And again, these are coaching questions, right? How will being of service impact your life? And I mentioned it earlier. Some people say, you can't keep it unless you give it away. You can't outgive the universe. How would you differentiate today being of service or servitude? Again, we don't want to confuse the two. If my choice and my freedom and my ability to have a way of life is some way impacted, then I'm acting from a place of servitude. How are you being of service? Are you being of service freely? Or are you doing things because somebody has perceived or actual power over you? And that's why you're doing what you're doing. The fear of, if I don't do it, X, Y, and Z is going to happen. Right? And again, I'm saying perceived power, right? Because we associate power with people who have titles, like your boss or your supervisor or something like that. But sometimes the perceived power is that you might think your friend or your loved one or your significant other or a family member is more powerful than you. That what you need, what matters to you, is unimportant. And then you become a slave to them. You're serving them. You're being the piece. Some people use the word interchangeably, and I don't want to do that, right? But you're constantly giving to them and not getting anything in return. So being of service or servitude, it can happen in your relationship with friends, family, right? Significant others. And it can also happen in the workforce. force. And you might say, well, Lila, well, they're paying you to come to work and to do a job, to be of service. There's a fair exchange. There's money, and then there's you doing your job. But there is a difference. And let me go back one slide. There is a difference, right? When you're subjected to someone more powerful. Me working as a team member, me having choice, me being able to use my talents and my gifts and working together in a collaboration where it's a win-win, that's not servitude. That's being of service. I'm being a contributor to something. But if I'm in an environment where I'm not a contributor, I don't have a choice, and I'm not being of value, and I'm expected to constantly do, then that is servitude. Notice that first definition, right? A condition in which one lacks liberty, especially to what? Determine one's course of action or way of life. So no matter where I'm at, I have a right to determine my course of action in my life. In my life. If I don't have that ability to do that, then it's servitude. If I have the ability to determine my choice, my course of action, or my way of life, then I'm being in service and of service. Two different things. I hope that this was useful and helpful to someone, because many of us, we're walking around not feeling fulfilled on our jobs. We got resentments in our relationships. We got resentments in life. We're angry, right? Because all we really want to do is help somebody, but we don't understand the difference between service and servitude. And sometimes other people don't understand the difference between service and servitude. Some people really think, and I don't want to overgeneralize, like you got to do for them, opposed to it being an exchange. Maybe we don't do the same thing for each other, but we still do. We contribute to each other's life. Hey, Coach B, what do you need today? Hey, so-and-so, what do you need today? We contribute to each other's life, and we don't take for granted, right, that the other person has to do, and not have reciprocity in place. Listen, subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. Again, our goal is to get up to 100 subscribers. So if you're new, please subscribe. We want to try to get to 100 within the next 60 days. And I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the subscribers that I do have right now, and the new ones who have come on board in the last couple of weeks. Like, again, this thing with the algorithm is almost like the rating system when you're watching TV, right? Those numbers matter, right? Do they matter to me as much? Yes, they do matter, because I know that I want to be of service to people. I know that I want to be of service to people and offer something. And I know that the way that the systems that I'm working within, they have some rules and protocols and ways of doing things. So I'm here. I would like for you to be here with me, and let's accomplish this goal together. Again, subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, either on YouTube or Facebook. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you can identify or relate to anything that I said today, leave it in the comments. This has been your Monday Morning Magic, and I'll see you guys next Monday.